Grant Ellis shocks the world. What really happened on The Bachelor? In what is now being called the most shocking Bachelor finale in the history of the franchise, Grant Ellis, a seemingly level-headed and emotionally intelligent man from Colorado, shattered every rule, every expectation, and every long-standing tradition of The Bachelor. For weeks, fans speculated. Who would he choose? Was it Juliana, the charming nurse with the heart of gold? Or Alicia, the fiercely independent entrepreneur with fire in her soul? But as the final rose ceremony approached, what no one saw coming was what Grant did next. He didn't just break hearts. He broke the game. Here's the full 3,000-word breakdown of the jaw-dropping finale that's got Bachelor Nation spinning. Grant Ellis started his Bachelor journey like many others. A clean-cut, soft-spoken gentleman with deep eyes and a disarming smile. A former high school teacher turned fitness coach, he was praised for his emotional maturity and commitment to finding something real. Week by week, he made thoughtful cuts, always delivering heart-wrenching explanations. It was clear he wasn't here to play. Grant Ellis wanted forever. But the deeper he went, the heavier the burden became. By week 4, America had fallen for him. Social media dubbed him the healing bachelor, someone who truly listened, who cried with the women, and who spoke like a therapist in a tux. The tension was palpable. These women couldn't be more different, yet both had formed undeniable, passionate bonds with Grant. Juliana was consistent, vulnerable. She opened up about losing her father, about her fear of never being chosen, and how Grant made her feel seen. Their chemistry was soft, comforting, like two people who'd known each other in another life. Lisha, on the other hand, brought fire. Their connection was magnetic, even a little dangerous. She challenged him, pushed him to think deeper, to own his truth. Their dates felt like scenes from a movie, passionate, dramatic, unforgettable. Fans were split. Team Juliana and #Team Lisha were trending for days. Reddit threads tore apart every word Grant said in the final episodes. But nothing prepared them for the finale. On proposal day, the cameras were set. The mansion was glowing. Jesse Palmer stood by, whispering into his earpiece, ready to walk Grant through the final choice. Traditionally, The Bachelor sends home the runner-up first. But not this time. Jesse, visibly confused, tried to keep things moving. Grant, both women are waiting. We need to know who you're choosing. That's when Grant shocked the world, in what many are now calling the speech heard around the world. Grant stood alone under the rose-covered arch and delivered a monologue that left producers stunned and viewers in tears. The camera cut to Jesse, speechless. Then to producers scrambling in the background. And then to black. No final rose. No dramatic limo exit. No engagement. Just silence. Grant Ellis started trending in 43 countries. Memes flooded the internet. Some fans felt betrayed. They wanted closure. Others called him the most honest bachelor of all time. Podcast hosts scrambled to record emergency episodes. Former bachelors like Ben Higgins and Sean Lowe weighed in. Sources close to ABC later revealed that producers were furious with Grant's last-minute decision. The entire finale had to be restructured. Reshoots were considered. Contracts were reviewed. But in the end, ABC aired it.
Why?
Because, well, drama sells, and Grant gave them ratings gold. Behind the scenes, leaks revealed that Grant had expressed doubts for weeks. He reportedly told producers multiple times, "I don't want to propose unless it's 100% real." They allegedly tried to convince him otherwise, reminding him of his responsibility as the lead. But Grant stood firm. He revealed that he's been in therapy, spending time with family, and even working on a book about emotional intelligence in modern dating. Grant Ellis, once just another bachelor, had now become something bigger, a conversation starter, a disruptor, a man who reminded America that love, real love, can't be forced in the end. The man who entered the mansion with a smile walked away with his soul intact. He didn't pick a woman. He didn't pick fame. He didn't even pick love. He picked honesty. He reminded millions that the right choice isn't always the expected one. That love is complex, nuanced, and sometimes unfinished. Was it the right call? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure. Let me know if you'd like a version rewritten as a YouTube video script, Instagram caption series, or podcast format from the first date. Juliana made an impact. She wasn't just beautiful, she was electric. The chemistry between her and Grant was palpable, leaving other contestants and even viewers wondering if their connection was too intense to sustain. But Juliana's path to the finale wasn't smooth. She had moments of insecurity, frustration, and emotional confrontation. Yet, every time she faltered, she opened up more, peeling back layers of her past trauma and abandonment. Her story of growing up in a household with a volatile parental relationship struck a chord with Grant. Grant's response? A long, quiet embrace and a whispered, "I'm not going anywhere." Juliana brought excitement, depth, and challenge. Their relationship was a storm, sometimes exhilarating, sometimes turbulent, but always passionate. In many ways, she reminded Grant of his own emotional battles. Their shared trauma bonded them, but their connection was constantly tested. When Juliana met Grant's family in the finale episode, it was clear that the chemistry extended beyond just the couple. Grant's sister, Kelsey, admitted privately to the camera Alicia, on the other hand, was a slow burn. Early in the season, she didn't get much screen time. She wasn't loud, didn't stir drama, and stayed quietly confident in her connection with Grant. Many fans didn't predict she'd make it past week 4. But Alicia's strength was her consistency. She listened. She reassured. And when she opened up during week 5 about losing her father to cancer and raising her younger siblings, Grant saw a whole new side to her. Their bond wasn't flashy. It was rooted in mutual respect, empathy, and emotional stability. She didn't demand attention. She earned it through authenticity. And as other relationships crumbled, Alicia's connection with Grant only deepened. During the hometowns, Alicia's family welcomed Grant with open arms. Her younger brother pulled him aside and said, that comment stuck with Grant, and in many ways, it symbolized the choice before him. Alicia wasn't asking for a fairy tale. She wanted real partnership, an honest, stable love. When Alicia met Grant's parents, they were visibly taken with her poise. His mother, Lorraine, said it best. Juliana took Grant on a sunset yacht cruise off the coast of Tulum, where they danced under the stars, reminisced about their journey, and shared a deep, emotional kiss. From the very beginning of The Bachelor, season 29, Alicia moved differently. She didn't scream for the spotlight. She didn't throw drinks or throw shade. She simply stood, present, poised, like the eye of a hurricane spinning with chaos. While other contestants played the game loudly, Alicia became unforgettable by playing it quietly, and that, ironically, became her power. The entrance that said everything. When Alicia stepped out of the limo on night 1, she didn't deliver a gimmick or a pun. No costumes. No props. No TikTok dance challenges. Just a confident walk, a warm smile, and a single sentence. That sentence disarmed Grant Ellis instantly. In a season packed with producers clearly nudging the women toward drama and chaos, Alicia was the anomaly. Her calm demeanor forced the show to shift its tone every time she walked into frame. She didn't dominate airtime. She didn't need to. Her presence lingered. And it wasn't long before Grant began seeking her out, not for the adrenaline rush, but for the peace she brought him. A background etched in grace and resilience. Viewers quickly learned that Alicia grew up in a tightly knit Samoan American family in Carson, California. She was the eldest of 5 siblings, the first in her family to graduate college, and had spent the past 4 years as a youth counselor for at-risk teens. Her backstory wasn't tragic, it was real. And it shaped her emotional intelligence and patience in ways that set her apart from the more impulsive contestants. Week after week, while others complained about not getting enough time with Grant, Alicia quietly said even when other connections blazed fast and hot, Juliana, Chelsea, Vanessa. Alicia's bond with Grant was something else. Justice for Alicia trending after week 4. Fans were furious she hadn't had more screen time. The producers couldn't ignore it. By week 6, she finally got her moment. And it was worth the wait. Grant and Licia's one-on-one was a private sail around Catalina Island. Nothing extravagant. No skydiving or fireworks. Just two people alone on a boat, learning to breathe and sink. They didn't kiss for almost half the date. Instead, they asked hard questions. Talked about childhood. About fear. About faith. Grant admitted that his parents' divorce had made him afraid of commitment. As the season deepened, the show descended into classic Bachelor madness. Group date jealousy, behind-the-scenes betrayals, secret alliances, hot mic scandals. But not Licia. She remained composed through it all. Even when Chelsea, one of the more outspoken women in the house, accused her of emotionally manipulating Grant by staying quiet, Licia didn't retaliate. She simply said, if Grant had any doubts left, they began to dissolve during Licia's hometown date. From the moment he walked through the doors of her family home, he was immersed in something he'd never experienced: deep-rooted culture, fierce love, and a spiritual calm that grounded everything. He met Licia's grandmother, who blessed him with a traditional Samoan prayer. He played rugby with her brothers in the park. He helped cook dinner with her aunties and uncles. The warmth was overwhelming. The week of fantasy suites is when many Bachelor relationships start to fray. But not this one. Their date was spent in the mountains of Utah. A cabin. A fireplace. Snow softly falling outside. They talked for hours before even touching. About boundaries. About futures. About what love looks like at 40, not just 30. Licia admitted she had never said, "I love you," to someone who didn't earn it over time. Grant didn't flinch. He just nodded. Of course, this wouldn't be The Bachelor without a wrench. And that wrench was named Juliana. Beautiful. Passionate. Fiery. Juliana had chemistry with Grant that lit up every room they walked into. While Licia offered calm, Juliana offered chaos, and it wasn't bad chaos. It was crackling. The show's final weeks framed the choice: comfort or passion, peace or excitement, Licia or Juliana. Fans split into warring camps. Hashtag Team Licia and Team Juliana trended for weeks. And Grant? He unraveled. In the penultimate episode, Grant had a breakdown on the beach. The finale opened with heart-pounding music. Thunderclouds hung over the ocean cliffs. Both women waited in separate limos, unaware of what the other had said, or what Grant would say. Juliana was sent months later. At the After the Final Rose taping, Licia and Grant walked on stage hand in hand. No drama. No scandal. Just smiles. Grant told the audience. Licia nodded. We want forever. But we want to build it brick by brick. They weren't the flashiest couple in Bachelor history, but they might be the most real. Bachelor Nation, still recovering from several seasons of drama, clung to them as a symbol of something the show often promises but rarely delivers. Would you like a follow-up chapter for Juliana's side, or the finale drama from a different perspective? Before the world knew her name, before her presence stirred rooms into silence or drew eyes with its calm intensity, Lala existed quietly in the folds of history. She was not born famous, nor did she grow up in abundance. She was born on a Tuesday morning in a rain-slicked village in northern Iran, in a house that leaked in the spring and froze in the winter, yet always smelled of jasmine and fresh bread. Her mother, Sharon, was a seamstress with the hands of a pianist and the spine of a soldier. Her father, Dawood, was a teacher exiled from the capital for writing poetry that made bureaucrats uncomfortable. Grace ran in Lala's blood not because it was taught to her, but because it was lived around her. Resilience wasn't a choice. It was the language her family spoke. They stitched their lives together with small joys: the sound of birds returning each spring, the rare but golden laughter of her father, the pride her mother took in perfect stitches even when her eyes strained in the candlelight. This was Lala's foundation, not riches, but rhythm. Not fame, but faith. When Lala was 11, the silence came. Her father was arrested in the night. No explanation, no trial. Just a knock at the door, and a shadow that took him. Sharon didn't cry. She wrapped her daughter in a quilt made of old clothes and whispered, "You will learn to carry things quietly, but you must never carry them alone." For years afterward, The silence became a member of the family. It sat at the dinner table. It slept at the foot of their beds. It walked beside them in the streets. Lala began to speak less, but feel more. She noticed things. The way neighbors averted their eyes. The way her mother's hands trembled before they touched fabric. The way grief can hum like a refrigerator, constant, background, almost unnoticeable until it disappears. She could have folded into that silence. Many did. But Lala chose to etch herself against it. When Lala was 17, her mother arranged a way out. With the help of distant cousins and a bribe made possible by the sale of her grandmother's wedding ring, Lala boarded a plane to Canada. Alone. 2 suitcases, 1 passport, and 1 notebook tucked beneath her shirt. She arrived in Toronto on a gray morning in February. Everything felt foreign, the air too dry, the buildings too tall, the people too hurried.